This is very intriguing to me, and I would like to get involved in learning more about this. But I live in Sacramento, and you're teaching on Rhode Island.
Yes.
So, is there any way that I can learn about the wisdom wheel and participate in this?
Good question. To learn about the wheel, there's no substitute for actually sitting with people and sharing with people because of all the nonverbal communication that goes on. But my husband, Malcolm Davidson, and I did develop a website, it's almost 10 years old soon, that allows people to sign up to make a journey around the wheel, no matter where they live. And the website is at www.thewisdomwheel.com, is all one word, no spaces. And if you visit the website, you can sign up for the regular delivery to your inbox of a page a day, if you have time for that. And the page a day actually takes you around the wheel. And so you would begin with an introductory month, and it gives you a little background about the history of wheels and the history of universal laws and the things that you sort of need to know to help you put all of this in context. And then we start with the law of balance and then go through all 36 laws, one law per month, and 36 months equals 3 years. So that's why it takes 3 years. I've been quite surprised that people, after they finish 3 years online, although I haven't met them in person, there are little blogs about each law that people can have as a way of being interactive with others who are studying. But they sign up to take it again, which surprises me. But one of the things with the way we've set up the website is we're sharing my journal that I wrote about the 1,000 days journey, which those 3 years add up to 1,062 days actually. And we're encouraging people because we send a electronic version of a blank journal page with the quote of the day, which usually is about the aspect of that law. For instance, if we're talking about the law of balance, it'd be about mental balance if we're talking about that first week with the law. And they can download the attachment and either print a journal page to keep in their own binder or save it electronically as a Word document to write their own journal about these principles. And that's something we want to continue to encourage in the future, and I'll be bringing out 2 workbooks related to this work. One of them is going to be doing the series of all 36 laws in 1 year, which gives 10 days per law. And the other workbook will be the proper one with the 3-year coverage of the laws, so that people who want to teach this to others have some real credibility of not just talking about these laws, but living by them, because it's just rhetoric if it's on paper. But to actually have this wheel and this system become lived experience, I like to think it's a way of becoming wise, and we certainly could use more wisdom in the world. And that's why I called it the Wisdom Wheel, because it was my path, if you will, that was shown to me of how to become wiser. Not that we ever finish in that journey of becoming wiser, but it certainly is a way that can be shared with others who are also all making their journeys. And as I often say, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what religion you are, what nationality you are. As you'll see if you visit the website, it's in 10 languages, the stones, when you come to the graphic at the beginning. So we definitely designed this with the global conversation in mind. What were principles that people could talk about with each other that would give fruitful conversations and help people bring up anecdotes of experiences that they've had that have helped them understand each one of these laws. One other thing we do when people are first being introduced to the wheel is to remind them that depending on what time of the year they were born, they'll have a birth law. That's I found that helped people anchor their experience with the wheel because it is quite multidimensional and complex. And so to sort of find your home on the wheel, we help people understand that if you're an Aries, for people that are interested in the sky wheels of astrology, then your birth law would be enlightenment. And if you're a Taurus, your birth law would be beauty. And if you're a Gemini, your birth law would be eternal presence. And if you're a Cancer, your birth law would be initiation. And if you're a Leo, your birth law would be the shadow. Interesting that Carl Jung was born as a Leo, and he was the person that popularized the shadow. There's an amazing congruity you will find with people being born under these birth laws without even knowing it, and yet it being a big clue to their purpose and their life path. The next one would be law of the journey, which would be the Virgos. Then for the Libras, it's the law of forgiveness. And then for the Scorpios, it's the law of clarity. For the Sagittarians, it's the law of choices. For the Capricorns, it's the law of renewal. For the Aquarians, it's the law of purification. For the Pisces folks, it's the law of surrender. And this helps anchor people to their viewpoint of this whole model. And I really find that that helps a lot. And then the other thing you can begin to notice is that there are corresponding laws. There are what we would call balancers for each person. So my birth law being enlightenment, the corresponding complementary law is forgiveness. And the idea that without forgiveness there can be no enlightenment. And part of enlightenment is learning to offer forgiveness to not just others but to ourselves. The law of beauty is balanced by the law of clarity. If you cannot see the beauty in the world, obviously you're not seeing clearly, because there is great beauty in the world. And people get into lovely conversations about trying to understand what this law means in their life when they first hear about it. And then the other way of working with the laws also is to have people understand that each year of their life they are moving around this wheel of life, this wheel of time, and they're living under a different law each month. So I'll give you an example. I'm 56 years old, and I'm actually living at the center of the wheel right now under the law of balance, where we come back to each 27-year rotation. You are born through whatever direction of the time of the year you were coming into the world, and then you start your journey from the center. So you return here at age 27, 28, 29, at age 54, 55, 56, and at age 81, 82, 83. And being in the center myself right now, I have a wonderful sense of completion about the past 27 years, and a wonderful sense of anticipation about the next 27 years till I get back here at 81, and to really make it count, this third revolution around the wheel of life, and to be thoughtful, to be deliberate, to realize that I'll be back in the East at 57 to 58, 59, 60, which is a time of good time for intellectual efforts, because this is the mental side of the wheel: courage, creativity, commitment, those things. And then when I'm in my early 60s, I'll be at the south side of the wheel, where it's emotional. Then at 70, I'll be back on the west side of the wheel, etc. So it gives you a roadmap of your life and a way of sorting priorities, and also situating everyone else in your life on the same kind of a model so that all are included. Thank you for listening.